Welcome back, Stow TV. First game of the season. We've taken a 2-1 loss at home to Gorleston. Here with manager Vinny Murphy. Vinny, we've had a really good pre-season. It hasn't carried through to the first game. What's your first feelings?
Yeah, I feel like it hasn't carried through to a certain extent, but then on the flip side of that, I look at the game and whether you're Gorleston or Walthamstow or non-biased, I do feel like as a whole we've dominated the game. Have we done enough to win it? Maybe not, but I don't feel like we didn't do enough to lose it. Like, 2 penalties is a tough way to lose at any game. If you take away the pens, how many real opportunities did they carve out and test our goalkeeper? I think I can count 1. So, yeah, it's a difficult one to swallow. If I'm being harsh on the boys, I do feel like application was a little bit off. I do feel like sort of our tempo and the way we've looked to get the ball down was a bit off today. Certain decisions and in certain areas didn't help, but listen, beauty of football is 7 days time. They've got to go and put that right, and yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously no one wants to start off a season with a loss, especially at home. So listen, no disrespect to them, they've done all right today, and we knew as soon as they got ahead, or even if they levelled it, they was going to put 11 behind the ball and just sit there, and that's exactly what they did, which is exactly what they did last season. So yeah, frustrated more than anything, with an element of disappointment, but I don't want to be too harsh. I can't say too much. It's one game. Like, it'd be easy for me to pick them apart and be sort of really rash and want to blow the whole team up and start shipping players out and shopping, but that don't make no sense. It's one game. We've definitely got more than enough here to work with. So yeah, we could go again at training during the week and then we go from there.
Like you've said there, it's easy and it's tempting to think everything's gone wrong. How do you now go and keep your confidence in everything you've done in pre-season, all the good work that has happened and all the good play that has happened? We still know it's a good group of players. What do you go and do to start lifting heads and get them feeling positive again? Yeah,
of course. Listen, I'm a big believer in accountability and responsibility. Like, these boys need to, the ones that have had off days today and the ones that have made silly decisions, like, they need to be accountable for them, and then they need to work on why that happened and how that doesn't happen again. Like, I'm not one for just brushing things under the carpet and feeling like that's all right, next week it might not happen. Like, we will definitely address it. We'll definitely address how it happened, why it happened, and how we can nullify that going forwards. It's just, listen, we're going to have to work on it and train in a few little bits and pieces. Importantly for me, I just feel like we still keep the morale high. Like, I don't want to capitulate completely over one loss. Like, don't get me wrong, if we're having this conversation in 6 weeks' time and there's been 3 or 4 of them, then yeah, it might be a different convo. But yeah, I just feel like you put it to bed in a sense, but you still need to address the negatives out of it and then put that right in training. And yeah, we go again Saturday.
Like you said, there were a few negatives, but to hit on the positives, I would say from today, Addy Cole very much looked like the player that we thought he was. He wanted to run the team, he wanted to up the tempo a lot. Say Wahongi's given away a penalty, but again, I think he showed a lot of leadership and quality. So what are the positives do you want to build on?
Yeah, the positives, absolutely. Like, from the fans, from everyone, I'm sure everyone would agree that it's definitely a more free-flowing Walthamstow than what it has been in terms of playing. But that's only attracting and pleasing to the eye if you're getting results of it. You can play the best football in the world and lose football matches, and it's null and void how you play, do you know what I mean? But the positives, I'd say, I thought both wide players, Jordan Pert and Kai Davis, were probably our better players today. Like, Kai's endeavour and his work rate was a joke.
Both of them thin.
Very. Jordan Pert, when he goes past players, it looks like he leaves them behind. Brian Moses, someone who's not struggled in pre-season, but he's picked up a couple of little knocks and stuff. I was a bit sort of sceptical about him today, but he put in one hell of a shift and caused chaos for them today. Louis Johnson took his goal really well. Yeah, and listen, I know Tay will be disappointed with today. Regardless of the pen, he'll be disappointed with performance. But that's a positive in itself. Like, these boys have got their own standards, not only mine. Like, of course I set standards, but they've got their own, and they can be harsh on themselves, and there is high expectations for each other. So I feel like I'd have a bigger problem if they was all in there smiling and joking and ready to go in the bar and have a laugh after that, but they're not. They're very much like hammering home what was wrong and how do we fix it, and sort of holding each other accountable. So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom, but at the same time, it's definitely not how I wanted to spend the Saturday night.
We're not going to go too hard on them, but
no.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.